friends, Romans, countrymen. We are here in Texas to plant a tree. Now those are elephant heart plum trees, right? As we saw from the label. And elephant heart plum trees need a pollinator. Here's the pollinator right here. That's a golden plum, Shiro. This baby was planted in the late fall, and it made a little berm for it to keep in the, you know, the horse manure, which is there, and then the cow manure around it. And I'll just keep pumping that up. I don't want to bury it too deep, but little by little, just to make sure it's protected. And it did really well in the freeze because it was protected. So, and there were many freezes. And this is the heart, elephant heart hole right here. Then, and we just got these from FedEx. Got this golden Shiro plum here. Also leafing really early. It's February 27th, so spring comes early in Texas. And so this wasn't as well protected because they didn't have as much horse manure on it. So I think that's why it's not leafing as fast, but because it was a pretty intense freeze. And the wind is coming. The wind blows this way generally and will blow pollen to this tree. So I'll put another elephant heart plum tree here, and then we'll get those rock berms together so they look nice. There's a lot of rocks on the property, so I just gathered these from around the property. Crazy as that might sound, but this is just rocks everywhere. That's one that we can't pick up because it's just molded ancient artificial concrete. Yeah, all this is built, and you're like, well, that sounds crazy. I'm just going to throw that out there. Also, in my salutation that began the video, by the way, I said, friends, Romans, countrymen. Now, that's an old saying, and there are no Greeks in that saying. There were no Greeks. Obviously, there was an ancient civilization that built the megalithic Greek, structures, and made those beautiful artistic sculptures and all that stuff. But they weren't Greeks. It wasn't a separate society of people called the Greeks. And if you want to spend a lot of time arguing with institutional professors about that, not institutional researchers, because researchers know the truth, but you can't get a professor to learn anything because they already know everything. So, as you know, then do that, go into that well, that sinkhole of time. But if you'd rather do something more interesting in the sense of, that you can get some traction, the institutional wall of ignorance, willful ignorance, is starting to crack in the pyramids field. So researching pyramids and getting information out to people about pyramids as energy machines, and you just start out with Christopher Dunn. He's the man, Chris Dunn, with a C, Chris. And he wrote the Power Plant book. I don't remember the exact title. Giza Pyramids as Power Plants, something like that. And you can find that information all over the internet. And so that's been around for, I think, 20 years now. And really, really useful to think of pyramids as energy machines, because that's what they are. And scalar communication devices. So Semir Osmanagic, based on the work of Goran Marjanovich, who's a Serbian electrical engineer, came up with the idea of the cosmic internet. Now, Semir Osmanagic discovered the pyramids in Bosnia and other structures there, and he's met with a lot of orthodoxical flack for that. They tried to shut him down. They tried to sue him. They did sue him. They sent petitions from the European Association of Archaeologists saying we have to shut this project down because it's destroying real artifacts. And it's like, there's no evidence that any artifacts were destroyed. And they're like, it's just nonsense. He's trying to bring tourists to Bosnia, and endless arguments against him. But he persevered, and that's good. So we have We have the Bosnian Pyramids project, which is the most active archaeological project on the planet, still going, so that's good. Pyramids, mountains, the earth, they're all scalar machines, you know? And I think that this is maybe what plants are doing, is that they're following the energy lines of scalar energy, which is much, much, much more prevalent than light and moves much faster than light. So it goes 20 billion times or more faster than the speed of light. That's how instantaneous scalar energy is. And the waves are not going from A to B. It's like when you squeeze an accordion. That's what a scalar wave is. It's not that you have to build an accordion from A to B, one end of the accordion to the other. You don't have to do that. You don't have to create a ladder to the sky. The ladder's already there. So scalar wave activity is basically compression and rarefaction. So compression of the wave, and rarefaction meaning then you distance it. So the accordion's compressing and then rarefying, compressing, rarefying. So you have an accordion-like wave, different from light, different from radio waves, different from sound waves, which travel along. You know what those waves look like. It's a totally different thing. So Tesla was researching scalar waves. He didn't call them scalar waves. He called them non-Hertzian waves. There's another name for it, which is standing waves, and we could also call them torsion fields. And the Russian scientists, let's see, Gennady Shipov, G-E-N-N-A-D-Y, Gennady, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but close enough, I guess, Shipov, S-H-I-P-O-V, and Anatoly Akimov researched torsion fields and have given us incredible breakthroughs there. Of course, Wikipedia says it's all pseudoscience because they don't have any choice, because they're controlled by the bankers. So that's what they have to say. So yeah, research that, power of the pyramids as energy machines, and that could be a fruitful line of research, fruitful life, because these are windows into what's really happening, because the earth is crystalline, and the earth is, Tesla said crystals are alive. So therefore, if the earth is crystalline, the earth is alive in that sense, right? In a crystalline sense. Crystals grow, by the way. Gold grows through the earth, and it looks like leaves. It looks like it's leafing as it's going, and then we have to find it. We call it a vein. When we find it and we mine it as some kind of valuable metal that we're going to make into bars of gold, you know, and back currencies with. That is a vein because it's been leafing, branching and leafing through the earth. Amazing. You know, it's growing. So what grows? Things that are living. So the minerals are alive in their own way, right? The minerals are giving life to the plants, right? Because the plants take up the minerals. I mean, if we could just eat the minerals, we'd eat the minerals. We just eat dirt, but we can't. They're not bioavailable. So this is well known. So instead, the plants are the queens of earth, are these plants. And the queens translate the life-giving and the living scalar wave torsion field minerals into something we can use, right? And our consciousness, presumably, is a product of the original consciousness of the crystals, which Tesla said are alive. So that's pretty cool. Tesla's a great field of research too. So I'm just going to get to this planting, because, you know, I could talk all day. That'd be fine. But I think I'll just plant some trees now. Okay. Hope you have a scalar day. Check out my article, The Scalar Conundrum, which is an interview with Serbian electrical engineer Goran Marjanovich, who's working with Tesla machines, building them, testing them, and he's a pretty smart guy. And so I asked him in detail about what scalar waves are, And so we get some insight from him, because he's a real practical guy and a real knowledgeable fellow. Okay, check it out. Scalar Conundrum. Check it out. Bye.